Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We are aboard looking through the eyes of German Kerman at Eeloo, and as you remember in the last episode, we landed the probe rather successfully. Let's just say rather successfully. Perhaps not completely successfully. But rather successfully on top or on the side or on the surface of Eeloo. I was hoping I could try to land next to it, but the orbit simply isn't syncing up. The probe is on the dark side of the planet. After I stopped recording, I did spend another 20 minutes trying to transmit all that science, but I have learned that if you are going to travel to Eeloo, you do need to bring either, a bunch of batteries, first of all, but also a bunch of solar panels as well to replenish the aforementioned batteries, because sending data takes a lot of juice, and if you run out of juice mid-transmit, the whole shebang is out the door. So we're going to try regardless, even though it seems as though it appears that we don't even have a radio transmitter on this mission. We are going to attempt to land on the surface of Eeloo. I'm just jumping right into it. Normally there's a big, boring 39-minute build-up in my Kerbal Space Program episodes before I start to do anything actually exciting. Bam! We are starting with a landing. A manned, a curbed landing on another heavenly body. So let's orientate ourselves. Not even gonna bother with any sort of planned maneuvers. I'm just gonna not enable the engines. What's gonna happen here? Yeah. Engines enabled. Let's see. Pheromone and German Kerman are happy about that, it seems. But let's reduce our velocity. Probably should have done this at the apoapsis, right? I'm not a very smart man. Yeah, because there's no atmosphere to slow us down. But regardless, we are starting the entry maneuver burn. It doesn't take much. I'm fairly confident. Aside from the whole landing and then tipping over thing, I'm pretty confident in my abilities to perform this landing properly. Kind of like a soccer ball on this side. But yeah, let's actually stop at 10,000 meters. Our periapsis. There we go. We don't want to reenact our moon encounter we had in an earlier mission where we came skimming across the surface of the moon beneath the height of mountains at 2,000 meters per second. That was a scary experience to have. I sincerely cannot fathom why I don't have... I'm hoping it's somewhere in the shadows that I simply cannot see. I'm still going on about my lack of radio communications here. Is there any... There's really... This planet is not as interesting as I had hoped. I was mistaken. I looked this up. The Kraken is not on Eeloo. It is actually on Bop, I believe. Bop, which is a moon of Jool. I think the furthest moon of Jool, the hardest to get to, really. So we are not going to be attempting to see the Kraken here. Just a plain old icy planet. The furthest planet, where are we specifically? Whoops, no, go back to this view. Where are we actually on the orbits around the solar system? Yeah, in about 10 years we'll get closer than Jool. About the prospects of a rescue mission to bring these guys back home is pretty low as well, to be honest. I don't have the fortitude to be going on these missions that last, what are we on, 8 years, 38 days right now? Oh, brother. So your little stupid grin there, Pheromone. You better, God, he's insane. Or she's insane, I forgot what I kept referring to it as. That green goobly-glock is insane. Yeah, there's kind of a brownish rift right there. It is quite featureless indeed. There also isn't any ground scatter, rocks or debris on the ground per se, which really makes for yet again quite the featureless camera. The featureless camera, quite the featureless surface. Auto. These cameras angles are screwing me up. There we go, that's the one I wanted. Yeah, I suppose let's go for this rift, why not? We could do it. I needed to throttle up a little bit, though. I'm probably going to be able to get off the surface and into Eeloo orbit, so the potential for a rescue mission is high, but my patience is not. There's a view. Sort of. It's not really that great of a view, like I said. Boring planet! Let's see what we can't do about making sure maybe we land in this trench. Should we land in these hills overhead? Oh, there's this... Wait a minute. Cut the engines. There's this kind of crater-looking thing up here. I am already kind of on my descent, so this would be a waste of fuel, but perhaps in an effort to not be so bored, let's... Whoa, yeah, that's actually the perfect thing I want to do. And then do that, and that, and that. Alright, well, I just want to get... This is a crazy maneuver at 5,000 meters. I'm going to change my mind about my landing. Oh god. I'm getting quite low. But we are changing course. Well, that's not something you want to see, the ground getting closer. We are changing course. Pheromone is now getting a little bit worried, but German Kerman is the man at the wheel. And... Alright, we are going to stop descending and start ascending right now. And... What are we looking like? Yeah, right there, let's do that. That's great. Good job, German Kerman. Your crazy penchant for last-minute maneuvers has served you well. But yeah, do we have a shadow? Can we have lights on the ground? No lights on the ground. I should probably be careful about using those lights. Once again, because of the lack of electric charge out here. It's like just really dramatic drifting. Alright, we're still actually ascending, so that's alright. What a waste of fuel. What an absolute waste of fuel. I was so worried about running out on the way here that this is kind of... Oh, I can cancel this. Boop. This is kind of a strange decision I've made here. Also, I'm starting to bleed into the sunset part of the planet. So let's actually... Oh, wrong way. Let's rotate to make sure we have maximum surface area. Oh, that's an... I can sort of see the sun on our solar panels. Oh, these mountains are going to be problems. Maybe. We are dropping. And perhaps I should actually tilt over towards our opposing direction. We're going here to cancel out this horizontal movement. Yeah, it's going to have to come into play soon. But okay, yeah, this is a bit of a more interesting place. There's this nice mountain ridge right here, but we found what appears to be some sort of crater that has... removed, or perhaps melted the ice around this area. I'm going to attempt to not come in so hard and fast in the horizontal like I'm doing. More power! Where are we heading for? Pretty much the center of this cratered area. That is not the view you want. And I am using a significant amount of fuel for this maneuver. I think we could probably disable 2 of our engines and do this just with 2. But we are not. Alright. Let's put the gear down. I said let's put the gear down. Let's turn the lights on. Let's reverse direction, apparently, is almost what I started to do right there. I'm slightly concerned about the slope. Alright, there's a light. Alright, we're under 10 meters per second. I need to cancel out my horizontal movements like so. And now I've started to go up. Dang it! And... Don't tip, don't tip, don't tip, don't tip, don't tip. Alright. We landed. We landed. That is an accident of design. That is a great place for a headlight. For a lander. Of course, I flipped the other one around so I could use it for docking, but... Wow, that's poetic. And here we are. We have landed... Pheromone and German Kerman on the surface of Eeloo. Engines are shut down. I should probably save that battery juice. And let's extend the ladder. Just to make sure... Does that reach all the way? I hope that reaches all the way. Although, there's not that much gravity here. Yeah, that'll be enough. Let's do some science. Like, I don't know if my mystery goo experiment... It did. It apparently did. Yeah. Well, some of it. Perhaps 4.1 science didn't get transmitted from the robotic mission. Let's just keep that data. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. That's RCS fuel. What other sort of science do we have on board? Oh, we can do one of these. Observe the materials bay. 75 science from the surface, or 375. If now here's the thing. Yeah. This is a good thing. All right, let's actually reset this experiment. Reset the canister, please. Thank you. And this should be the only science we have. Review data. If I have a radio transmitter, clicking transmit data should work. And maybe it'll give me a clue as to where the heck I put that stupid thing. Alright, I'm gonna try. And we're going to learn whether or not we're complete idiots. In 3, 2, 1. Transmit. Oh god, that scared me. I'm like, no, it didn't work. No, it's just telling me that, okay, I have a spare one. That's fine. Transmit the data. No comms device. Well done, Kurt. Well done. Good job. Keep up the good work. You stink. Does that mean that this is now... Okay, I can still recycle the experiment, but keep the data. Oh, I am a monumental idiot. What the heck was I thinking? What happened? I'm so sorry, guys. German Kerman, that was a nice landing and a nice, crazy little last-minute maneuver change, but we're going to have you step foot on the surface. Oh, that's a perfect length for a ladder. Turn on your light, my man. My man, turn on your light. Oh, it's like the perfect... This is a nice lander design. It's the perfect, well, I suppose in this gravity at least, clearance for walking underneath. German Kerman is incredibly excited. What kind of hops can you get here? Yeah, pretty similar to Moon, M-U-N, Moon. Let's have Pheromone get out. Both of these guys have practiced their ladder holding technique, which is something that most Kerbonauts graduate without actually doing. Can you run? You can run. All right. So yeah, kind of moon-like gravity situation here. Disco. All right, let's have right in the viewpoint here. Let's have German Kerman plant the flag. Let's say right here, and it should be the Ice Cube flag. Plant the flag. Oh, okay, or do it over here. You know, whatever. Yeah, the floating block of ice flag. First manned Eeloo landing. And this was done by Eeloo Dallas Multipass. The crew was German Kerman and Pheromone Kerman. Might have spelled that wrong. Oh, I wanted to edit that. I wanted to make something, a funny, oh well. I wanted to make a funny note about how we forgot a comms device. But whatever. I guess not. German, take a surface sample. 450 science. I almost feel like I have to bring these guys back now. Or 112 science. Well, I can't transmit, so 450 science. That's all we're going to be able to do. And then we'll have Pheromone do the EVA report. 120 science. I wish you guys like had comms devices in your EVA suits, but you don't. I don't know, maybe that's something that will eventually happen in career mode. Is they will, maybe as an add-on. Somehow, I don't know how that would work. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. Okay, alright, somebody told me... Ow. Somebody told me when I was having problems with Pheromone here, now we're going to start practicing our RCS controls. Now, instead of automatically switching direction, if you press space, they will orientate themselves to match that of where your camera is facing. So if I do this... Oh, guess not. I suppose maybe in orbit that would work, but yeah, space. Okay, now, all right, now I understand. Ow. Now I understand. Wait, what was Eeloo surface? Okay, so there's no difference between surface or ice or anything like that. All right. So that's good to know. That is good to know. Oh, I can't run with my... There we go. So if your guy is spiraling out of control, hit the space bar and they will hopefully get back under control. So yeah, we did it. We landed 2 Kerbonauts on the surface of Eeloo. We can, you know, it's not about the science, I suppose, at this point. It's about, even though we do have more things to unlock, it's about the checking off of the list of places we have yet to be. Whoa, nice grab there, Pheromone. Nice grab indeed. Board? Oh, of course, now Pheromone is going to be in the captain's seat. Yep. Yes, he is. She is. They is. They is. Yes, they is. And it appears as though German Kerman is out of a visual range. Oh, flag. But very nice. Ooh, ah, wow. Yee. You make some weird faces, my friend. Some weird faces indeed. Screenshot, maybe. I'm not sure what that button does. Or is it F2? No, F2 does that. Oh well. Yeah, you're creeping me out, to be honest. Alright, let's get German Kerman back on board. Is there a way? Oh, come in, Pheromone. There we go. There's an actual view. You having problems breathing or something there, German Kerman? You're freaking me out. Freaking me out, man. Alright, let's get... Yeah, this is a weird camera angle. Like I said, let's get him back on board. We could definitely, with the amount of fuel we have, get them back into orbit. But without... We would need to send some sort of crazy ship of the imagination in order to get them back to Kerbin. I always forget the name of the place. Okay, so we have about like 1,500 untapped science. And it just keeps adding up here. So maybe that would be... Oh, that doesn't work. Dang! Maybe that would be incentive enough to try to recover this vessel. Nuclear vessel. Yeah, God. At least almost 2,000 maybe. One of them was 450. Was this thing not 450? 375. Okay, close enough. But yeah, we'll have to consider that eventually. But these guys are gonna hang out for... How long has this mission been going on? 8 years? Perhaps another 8 years, and then we'll go pick them up. But first, we need to go back to... Let's go back to the Space Center and kind of check out this new stuff. This newly found, newfangled... let's make it daytime, shall we? These newfangled features. Oh, that's cool. They didn't move before, did they? Little radio dishes? That's very cool. Alright. Now that it's the work day, let's go here. And something I didn't know, that I was kindly informed about, was that you can... The way to learn about these objects is to actively track them with your tracking station. So, unknown object... Well, this is kind of the closest-ish one to Kerbin right now. A tiny... Now click track object. Now we know the... Oh, wow. What? Now we know the trajectory of this object. It's a Class A object, and this one actually has an encounter of 10 million meters. This one is actually somewhat viable for some interaction. So I think I will continue tracking that one. Let's see what this one's all about. Track object. This one, not so much. It seems to be on a very similar orbit to Kerbin, but it doesn't quite... It kind of does, but not enough. So we can actually say, well, forget that object. Stop tracking that object. What else is out here? This guy is huge. Huge! Class E. Track the Class E object, and it actually never, at least in this orbit... So we would have to, like, go out and bring it in, and as a huge object, that would be kind of difficult. So stop tracking that object. And we have all these, like, what does it look like way out here? Track this object. Ah! Whoa, this one comes really close. How big is this one? This is C, average size, 7 to 10 meters. That's interesting. That might be worth keeping a track on. It is coming at a different angle. And it is about a half a year away. But that's nice. Large, medium. Let's see what this large one is doing. Oh, this one also, about the same time, comes to about 3 million. I don't know. It doesn't say how big, but it's huge. 12 and up to 18 meters. Interesting. I suppose we could, you know, these are pretty viable objects. Do they get showed? Oh, no. I just want that. Okay, now they stay here so I can switch between them. I obviously can't fly them, but the, what was the small one? The small one is... yeah, this one's going to encounter pretty soon, so we might have to start fooling around with that. I would also like to actually just, like, return to the moon, because there are all these, speaking of science, there are all these new, biomes, same with Minmus, that we have yet to explore. We got the moon. We do have our guys, go back to the tracking station. Sorry, changed my mind, ha 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 ha. We have, Bill, Bob, and Jeb orbiting the sun. I said I wanted to send out an additional mission because they ran out of fuel. It's gonna be a pretty big object, spacecraft with a lot of fuel. Because it's first of all got to get to them, rendezvous with them, and then I want to bring them even closer, like as close as I possibly can to the sun. So that is on. In order for the checklists, Jewel, the moons of Jewel, Drez, whatever, still need to visit for the checklist. Let's actually go back once again to our items to unlock. And I suppose I can unlock them right now since I'm talking. Because I'm not talking normally. What do I need to unlock? Research. Oh, is that the large solid rocket booster? Yeah, that was added with the NASA pack. It's supposed to kind of mimic the solid rocket booster that they're going to supposedly use on the side of controversy, on the side of the SLS launcher. The skipper engine, I think they just moved these back. Have they not? I already had these objects, but they moved them into a different tier. So let's just do that. And then this one unlocks a liquid fuel booster. That's interesting. So it's a... Huh. Okay, so it's like a solid rocket booster. It's self-contained rocket and fuel, except it's liquid, and you can adjust. That's new. I didn't realize this was added. Not that I realized many of these things were added. Then we got the mainsail we have to re-unlock. Even though we had already unlocked them, they just moved them down a tier, and then up here on the top tier, where you see the mainsail and the orange tank used to be, we have all these NASA tanks and rockets that are a whole new diameter, even wider than the orange tanks. Which would help us. Gosh, I'm so attached to the tugboat system that I almost kind of am nervous to upgrade to this and try to make a refueling thing. Maybe this is the type of stuff we're going to have to get Jeb, Bill, and Bob towards the sun. An actual launch escape tower, which I tried to build before. It could have worked had I not been trying to lift an entire planetary lander, maybe just a capsule. But we have that to work with. And I think that is all what we haven't... Yeah, that's all what we haven't... But we have 12,000 science! Where did... Oh, well, I suppose on this mission we gained a lot of science. But also the... I don't know that I used any of my science from the Eve mission, have I? But we might as well research the grappling hook for which to grapple asteroids. Airplane parts. I'm kind of interested since I've been to Eve. Maybe actually, what's the moon around Jewel that has an atmosphere? That'd be cool to try to get a space plane to. The ion propulsion unit. I have no idea if or how I'd be able to use that. I should unlock these bigger solar panels and batteries, especially if eventually I am going to go back to Eeloo to get those guys. So, researched! Ooh, what's this? Okay, more robotic guys and what are these? A guidance unit. Okay, if you say so. Batteries and the radioactive. Sorry, the radioactive, the atomic fuel source. Also, probably better to use that when going out to Eeloo. Rovers, I still have yet to find, other than craziness and fun, I have yet to find a useful use for rovers. Zisto made a rover and went to the moon and was using that to get all to his biomes, to get all the science from the different biomes, but it just takes forever. It's much easier to just have a lander lift up and then set down and lift up and set down. So rovers I'm not quite sure how to use yet. These could come in handy. Space station type situations. These are kind of struts. I don't know why. Yeah, it's kind of backwards. These just seem to be like metal I-beams and structures, but they're so far down. They're worth 550 science. They seem like little piddly parts like that should be a little bit further up. And then again, that's useful. God, I want to research this, not for the spaceplane stuff, but for that nose cone. I've been hobbling together a nose cone with other parts. Yeah, with like that part and then the smaller nose cone atop it. What to get? What to get? I think I'm going to get... This stuff seems the most useful. Especially that docking port situation. So I will research that for 550 science, and that is all that she wrote today. And... Sorry. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end this episode, not with boring purchases, but I'm going to load up a tugboat. Yeah, did I show this? I don't think I showed this. I don't think it works, but I was kind of taking a page out of the Zisto spaceflight situation to try to create a refueler that that would get more fuel up to space. Let's fly this thing. It's totally bonkers and totally mad, but oh damn it, I hate that. I really do. Where did this go? This went somewhere. I totally... It looks fine, does it not? Yeah, what happens if I Control Z that? Oh shoot. Okay. Shh. Nothing happened. Oh, it was probably from there. Yeah, whenever you make sure when you're changing mission flags to, like, make sure you're not looking at any parts or anything, because when you click the mission flag, it, like, suddenly makes you click the part that is hovering underneath it. But okay, yeah, let's see if we can launch this thing. I think I built it, but I found it to be too ridiculous, and then I unlocked the orange tank. So, let's go to the launch pad. Will it even fit on the launch pad? I didn't even check the staging. The staging might be all wrong. We might end in a complete disaster here, but that's what you guys like. That's what I like, too. We are kindred spirits, you and I. Alright. Watch the gravity take over. Let's take a look at the map. That's pretty close. Let's actually fast forward a little bit. Whoa, okay, yeah, right there. Let's just pretend like we're going to get up to the refueling station. 28 struts, jeez. Yeah, I only have 3 engines? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh, okay, here's the other 4. Got it. All right. It just, oh my god, it just barely fits on the launch pad. But let's attempt a liftoff of a Zistonian. This is like really early Zisto. He's gone miles beyond this sort of structure. But a Zistonian refueling pod, a variation of the Ferris refueler. It's like they found this in the shed and they're like, we built it. We might as well launch it. In, throttle up, in 5, 4, 3, 2, Yeah, we're still getting like 20 frames a second. Zisto gets like 2 when he launches his spacecraft. It's working! It's working! Woo! Woo! To the moon! To the moon! Haha! Wow, that's a crazy thing indeed. I do wish and perhaps eventually they'll add kind of special effects, but I wish the launch plumes were a little bit more dramatic. Do you not as well? Like down on the ground, like the flame trench, if condensation and smoke and fire were to come out of the flame trench, that would really up the dramatic launch stuff. We do have some rotation going on here that's going to be problematic eventually, and we are already beyond 350 meters per second. Ooh, okay, we should actually start... Wait, where's the 90? Oh, we should start that gravity turn. Wow, that thing leaves in a hurry. Of course, now I'm slowing down. Significantly slowing down. Now that we've lost... Oh, I'm not... Dang it, I wasn't throttled up all the way. That still has not changed our progress. Yeah, we're still slowing down. Perhaps there's a reason I never used this. I'm actually starting to lose a little bit of control. Alright, get that back, thank you. Alright, we're at the 45. We're down below 100 meters per second. And flying horizontally. Yeah, this is not... Yeah, I'm at my apoapsis. I'm actually probably going to start dropping soon. Yep, I'm dropping. I'm dropping. I'm dropping. I should have stayed at full throttle, and I should have stayed vertical. Did I lose engines? I lost engines. Ooh, those separate very nicely. Yeah, we're going down. All right, vertical. Go vertical. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Well, as we said, we had this kind of built out in the shed, so we might as well launch it. And, yeah, it doesn't work. Let's actually... Let's do some, frantic rescheduling. There we go. Nope. There we go. Alright, now we should have some oomph. We're gonna burn all the fuel that it's supposed to get to orbit, but... This is horrible. I'm coming down below 10,000 meters almost. Although we are reversing the polarity, reversing the direction, or the speed at which we're dropping. It's possible to get into orbit with this thing, maybe. Probably not. Okay, I might have built this, but it didn't work. Because then the following iteration, the actual Ferris refueler that actually works. God, look at how close we are still. We haven't even passed up the old runway. The actual Ferris refueler that actually worked was only 2 of these tanks, not 4 put together. There's a reason we scrapped this design. Quick, blink your lights. Turn on your hazards. Things are going completely wrong. Although we're lifting. We're lifting. Alright, yeah, okay, we're above 200 meters per second, and we're still above 10,000 meters, so perhaps we can attempt our orbital maneuvers here. This is about the time we would do our gravity turn, right? But I do believe we have quite the oomph. These are emptying... Yeah, this thing is failing as a refueling station because it's not going to bring any fuel into space. Such a terrible spacecraft designer I am. But at least we're going up. We're going up at least. Come on. I should probably... Yeah, I'm going to time warp a little bit. That's probably going to screw things up. It's probably going to induce the Kraken. No, I don't think I'm going to ever get into orbit with this thing. I just want to get to the point where I can stage. Alright, staging is going to happen right now. So long. And, ooh. Ooh. Can we do it? Can it be done? Oops, I hit the wrong button. We're gonna get to 60,000. Let's fast forward things again just to make them go a little bit quick. Here I'm like, oh, I'll have a normal length Kerbal Space Program episode. Then I attempt this stupidity. Maybe I'll edit it down a little bit. Whoa! I don't normally fly at 2 times speed. Oh, wait. Did we do it? We're up to 100. I don't know that I'm gonna get into orbit with this, however. Can I, like, do actual fast forwarding? Yeah, here we go. If this works, it's actually just going to put debris into orbit is all it's gonna do, but if this works... Alright. Now we are going to... just burn like the dickens. Whoops. Yeah, right there. Stay on target. Stay on target. This is totally gonna work. There's no fuel left at all. But it's actually going to get into orbit. Well, it's in orbit, but it's going to re-enter. It's in orbit. What kind of craziness is this? Here you came for explosions, and instead I got into orbit. So sorry to disappoint you all. Let's deorbit the thing. Although, wait. This is a big honking piece of hardware that we have in orbit that we could... Nah, it's completely inefficient and stupid. It's so stupid. Look at how stupid it is. It's so stupid. Maybe it's not stupid. Should I keep it up here? Maybe I should keep it up here. I do always tend to launch and then end up with a bunch of excess fuel. Of course, this is not the right kind of orbit I want to be in, but, hooray! We've got an empty tube of metal into space. Barely 1,000 units of fuel left. But maybe this could be a testament to our forever laziness and our previous lack of knowledge about space flight and orbital mechanics. The final Ferris Refueler in orbit around Kerbin. Haha, alright. I apologize. I apologize dearly. But let's look forward to some future episodes. I do feel like trying for that asteroid that's going to be having an encounter soon. So look forward to that in the next episode of Kerbal Space Program. My name is Kurt. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.